Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news.
The 37 Disney Street gang visited Disneyland Paris.
The mighty Thor arrives at Avengers Campus.
And another European heatwave limits entertainment offerings.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney pals. How are you doing? How's your week been, Chris? Been anywhere nice?
Nah, it's been hot. It's been really hot, and I've been nowhere nice.
How's your week been, Hugh? Have you been anywhere nice?
I'll tell you in a second when I've sound checked us.
Well, I can see that the sound's working.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've been to Scarborough.
Have you?
Yeah.
I saw the pictures. It looked like a lovely place. Actually, we went to Calypso Cove at Barnsley Metrodome today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was pretty cool as
Fantastic. But you know where we went before we went to
Sounds
Scarborough?
magical.
We went to Disneyland Paris.
well. Did you?
Yeah.
So did I.
Did you?
It is.
That's funny. I saw someone who looked like you. Were you there, Huey?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was.
That means we have got a lot to talk about. We've 2 full trip reports to do. Now, we're going to break them up probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think we're going to take it in like genres and sections.
Ooh, genres.
Of what we're going to talk about. Today, the thing that I think is the most pressing is we are going to give you our full review of Avengers Campus. It's been open 2 weeks now. 2 weeks? Not even that. Yeah, 2 weeks.
20-something. 21st did it open? So a bit more than nearly a month.
And so it is obviously our first visit,
3
and we
weeks.
have experienced between us almost everything in the land now. So we're going to sort of give you our reviews of that. If there's any time left over, we might talk. What did we decide? Transport or accommodations?
Transport.
Transport.
I'm going to go grab my... someone's just asked for something. We'll go grab it.
Okay.
Cool. Have you got your train whistle at the ready? Something really strange has happened. I arrived here today to find that the IKEA kids' kitchen that is normally present in this room and forces us to sit on a corner has gone. So we're now sat in an actual line properly for the first time. But everything that Hugh uses normally sits on that.
The aforementioned IKEA kitchen, yeah.
So unfortunately, nothing that he needs is to hand. Oh, okay, right. That's what he's been and got. Interesting. I haven't brought anything, by the way. I brought none of my things with me. I'm going to do a haul video like these guys did, probably tomorrow. So I'll try and get it out before the end of the week.
I am genuinely looking forward to your haul video. I've seen bits and bats on the messenger group and on Twitter, but I actually just want you to show me everything.
Cool.
So I'm really excited about that.
But I've also had to contact customer relations today to see about sending something back and get a replacement, which is a bit shad. It's shad. Real shad. It's real shad,
That's a shad.
I can't find the whistle.
Oh.
You're might have to just toot.
I'll wing it.
Never mind.
Speaking of which, then, do you want to wing that now?
Yes.
Who are they? Who are they? Nice.
Ooh, that was good.
Beautiful 2-tone whistle there.
All aboard. So in the chat today, we have the Dunn family were first in the chat.
Yay.
So, and, they're keen to point out, first comment, yay. So well done, the Dunn family.
Well done.
We're saying hello to Kelfie and Anne, Daisy, Lewis, Ginger Fox, Andrew's here, John's here, Claire. Who is Nate? LB's here, Aaron, Alex, Diogo, Caitlin. Let's start with this one. Is it the same one or another one? No, sorry. We've got David, Lauren, Maria, and Magical by Sarah.
Hi, everybody.
So hi to all of y'all.
Wow.
I think I've got everyone there. And Wits Wanderlust just sneaking in there.
Snuck in there.
Second.
Well done,
All
Wits.
y'all. Can I just say, I might have mentioned this before, my favourite Americanism of all time
Hi, Sam.
is all y'all. I just love
All
it.
y'all.
All y'all.
All y'all.
It's a really great start to a sentence. I just like it.
Hi, Anthony. Or Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. Can I just a quick disclaimer on other people's trip reports correspondence. I'm going to call it correspondence in general. I have a couple of things today, but I'm kind of going on a bit of a LIFO method, last in, first out, because there's quite a lot of stuff to catch up on. So if you bear with me over the next couple of weeks, if you sent in trip reports that haven't been read out, if you've sent in any questions, etc., we'll try and get round to them over the next couple of weeks as and when we can. But I'm a bit behind. And actually, I'm really nervous today as well because I haven't done this for 4 weeks or something, have I?
That's 4?
Well, yeah, we didn't have one last week, and I wasn't here the week before.
Yeah.
So it was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
But it feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it does. I was really excited this, mid-morning when I realised we had a show tonight. I was like, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to
chatting.
it because I've not seen people to talk about our holiday, and I'm very much looking forward to talking about things.
Ooh, I just want to say before we start, and also hello to Pugs Kanish, is that right? And Disney Bride 2013.
Disney Bride?
Yeah, 2013. 9 years ago. We got recognised in the park. We took stickers with us, and we were like, if you see us in the park, come and say hello. We were in the park 5 minutes. Literally, we just got in, and a guy came over and said, "Who is it?" And he was called Stephen. His daughters, he was with his 2 daughters, one of which had recognised us and pointed us out. So they came over, they said hello, they got stickers. And I thought, and so it was really nice to meet you, Stephen, and your daughters there. And I thought, wow, we've been here 5 minutes. We've already been recognised. This is going to be quite the trip.
What?
No one else in the entire time was there recognised us.
You say that, but I didn't get recognised by anybody either.
You got recognised by us.
Nobody, not a single person.
So
by you, yeah.
We have
by
an
you guys,
somehow we've given ourselves an overinflated sense of
self-importance.
Yeah.
Indeed. It was glorious. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to talk about the news first.
Well, should we talk about drinks first? Because we haven't done this for a couple of weeks either, have we?
Hello, Spare Claire.
Hi, Spare Claire. Yeah, let's talk about what's in our tiki cups.
Hey, ole, it's showtime. All together. Your tiki cup in your tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, I'll drink it up from your tiki cup.
I didn't hold up my tiki cup. Chris, today I've given you a Fanta fruit twist.
And I've nearly finished it, and so in the not too distant future, I'll be replacing it with an alcohol-free Brooklyn.
Yep. Again, we're not sponsored by any of these.
No.
But we're open to be.
I'm drinking cherries and berries cordial, but with Mickey ice cubes in. But it's so hot that they have already melted.
And I will also today be enjoying this new Vita Coco Chocolate. Dairy-free vegan chocolate and coconut drink. It says on the back here, it's not quite a milkshake and it's not quite a juice. It's a whole lot more now. I wasn't expecting the word juice in there, so I'm a bit scared.
Chocolate water.
It's tasty chocolatey, coconutty goodness with a potassium and vitamin C. Now that's a lot.
It sounds like something that needs cutting with some rum.
Ooh, I should do that.
You really should.
Oh.
When
they say it's not quite a milkshake, not quite a juice. That's right. Oh, that is interesting. That's going in the cup.
Kelly says, talking about drinks, does King Ludwig still do their happy hour?
Yes, if you have been keeping up with us on social media, you may know that we went to King Ludwig's in the village for the first time. I'm afraid I can't say... Yeah, Hugh and I. For the first time this trip, I'm afraid I can't say whether they do the happy hour. We didn't actually look.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yes, It was on the menu. It's in the restaurant and the bar, and I think it's 3 till 5 or something. I don't remember the exact times, but they do still do it. It's on the menu.
Hey.
I clocked it for you.
Hugh, have you got a bottle opener?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Do I have to go back to my teen years and use my teeth?
Let me get some rum while that's it.
Right, can I talk about Disney, or are you two
go for
boys
it. Yeah,
still...
jump into the news. Do
Okay.
it.
So, the Mighty Thor, this is... Excuse me for being non-PC, but this is the girl Thor. Very good.
Thank you.
The Natalie Portman character in the new Thor films has arrived at Avengers Campus. They have said it's for a limited time from the 12th of August, which has already passed, so she's there now. She is standing on the platform above the Quinjet, looking surly.
She looks great.
She
if
looks
I'd
great.
known she was going to be there, I would have
Baked a
persuaded Laura for us to go into Avengers Campus on the last day morning.
I bet you would.
Instead of, instead of going into the park.
There's also lots of other things to celebrate namely, there was a couple of cocktails added to the Manhattan bar and some. I mean, you went to these places, but we're not talking food today.
We're not talking food
But
today.
the puddings at the Manhattan.
Hi, George.
Yeah.
Hi, George.
Puds.
Hi, George.
Had some Mighty Thor things. So basically, she's a bit of a theme. Now, this makes me happy in this way. This means they intend to keep the character rotations current to the film releases and relevant in that way, which I'm really pleased about. They are working with the current Captain America, which we like, and we've got this. Have we had a Loki yet? Do we know which Loki?
I
we've
saw
got?
Loki.
Bye, George.
And was
I
he
saw
in
Loki.
green with horns?
He was with horns, yes. He was with horn. I saw Loki and his brother
He was horny.
walking past the window when we were
Horny,
sat
horny,
waiting to meet Spider-Man. What does that sound like, eh? What does that sound like? We were just waiting to meet Spider-Man. And Loki and Thor came to the window and started banging on the window and waving at everybody and saying hello and interacting before they went out to do their
Girls
business.
in trouble.
Yeah,
I like it.
it was good.
Sounds fun.
It was ace, yeah.
That's going to slip us into talking about Avengers Campus, which I don't want to do quite yet. I should have
That's
done.
fine.
I
No,
should
no,
have
that's
done
good.
this in a different order.
That's okay.
The other thing is,
We don't have to do segues. We can just go, and now Avengers Campus. Who cares?
well, let's just say this really quickly because it's almost getting boring now. There's another heat wave across Europe, hence me being in a strappy top and my ice cubes melting and
Me having sweaty
being
underarms.
tropical shirts. And I see no sweaty underarms, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm wearing merch today.
He's very much.
I wore mine in the park and I got Choco Blast on it.
It's just blooming
Spoilers.
hot again, and it's really hot in Disneyland Paris. It was hot when you were there, wasn't it? Well, it
Yep.
was hot when we
And
were there. I
was
don't know why
mad
I'm
hot.
saying that.
And the
Baking
parades were very, very limited. They were quite
Yeah.
interesting, actually, though.
So they limit basically in Avengers Campus. They weren't doing the shows for like the Dora Milaje and the dance off. I don't think this weekend. They were when we were there, weren't
Yeah,
they?
and they were during the week as well.
It was about 90 degrees when we were there.
So this weekend, they're
3,000,
just
that
going
felt
for
like.
short walk arounds, but they're going for, which I really like, because what you said about them tapping on the window and causing havoc and stuff, there's just characters milling through the land for a short amount of time and then disappearing backstage, which is almost better than everyone circling around them and doing a bit of something.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, that's good. But
Spider-Man
they're
on the
limiting
roof.
time. And then what they do more traditionally in the main park is you get limited character appearances on the parade, and when they do the 30th anniversary parade, which I always say wrong, dream, believe,
Dream big, shine brighter.
big, shine bright,
Something like that.
believing dreams in magical wonderment. That one, they don't stop and do the hub show.
It's a quick round and they're off. Interestingly, earlier in the week there were less, what do we call them, furries.
Yes.
There were less furry characters, but towards the end of the week there seemed, but certainly I think earlier in the day when it was cooler, there were more of them. But there was still quite a lot there, and it was a very entertaining parade, even though they didn't stop.
We did see a few misters and things, but I mean, it was 31 degrees when we were there. It was hot, and we didn't see loads of misters. And I'm presuming they've got more contingency this weekend, which is supposed to be a bit hotter.
The only mister I saw was the one outside the toilets in
Colonel
Frontierland.
Hatfield. Oh, in
Yeah, in
Frontierland.
You get me wary of misters that hang around outside toilets.
you do have to be wary of misters outside toilets.
So I missed the start of this conversation. So that most of the time you were both saying Mister, I thought you meant M-R. Mister.
Mer.
Messer.
Monsieur.
Mm-hmm. It's hot.
It is hot. The main parade though, only Mickey and Minnie,
Ill-faced showed.
and then the Toy Story soldiers were the only real characters there. The princesses were on their big doodad on the big float that they were using during COVID when they started doing things again. And the which prince is it? Aurora's prince. Which one's that? Is that Charming?
Philip.
No. Philip, yeah. Philip was there, but instead of he wasn't fighting any thorns, he was just walking along feeling pretty happy with himself and smug. And Maleficent the dragon only breathes smoke and no fire.
No fire, yeah.
Maleficent.
But apparently, there's been quite a few rare costumes from various different previous parades on display with the other cast members. And the one thing I will say that has been absolutely fantastic is seeing cast members going all at it when they're not in these suits, but they're still on the floats doing everything that they would be doing if they were in them. They just look so happy and like they're really enjoying themselves, and there's something really special about it.
Around the hub, we got separated during a parade. That's not important. I'm just still mad about it. But we got separated.
I ran across the road to get
and they didn't wait for me. They ran off, both of them. But the cast members who were sort of directing people across the street in time, for the parade to come around, they were dancing their butts off.
The crowd control cast members were just being absolutely amazing. Just they were part of the entertainment, and it was fantastic.
Speaking of which, there was a guy, and I didn't read his name. So one of the cast members was standing in the middle of Main Street, mouthing the voiceovers that were being spoken in French in a very manly voice, and then the female voice came on in English, and he did it all over the top camp with his arms all over the place. It was fantastic. He was brilliant.
He might have been the same one, actually. It was right outside the castle, and he was. I
want to say he was called Claude, but but that's just in my head. And I don't think it actually was Claude, but there we go. He was brilliant, whatever. He was fantastic.
Disneyland Paris cast members, man. Big up the cast members.
I know we're not talking everything today, but I cannot fault a single cast member this holiday.
So
I know. Like just to give an example, in Star Tours, they all go and they do very similar things, and the ones that are going through the motion, it's fine and it works really well and they're brilliant. But the ones who give it that extra bit and make you feel like you're actually on a flight, they are the ones that I love.
Yeah, we had a lackluster one.
Oh no,
Bonnie and I had a lackluster flight attendant on our Star Tour.
The first time I went on, as the guy left, he got a round of applause. And at the end of the ride, everybody was applauding as well. And then the last two rides I went on, there was a girl who was called Chloe. I did see her name badge, mainly because it was the same person the following day. And she was brilliant. She was having a laugh with different people. She said, "You can put your glasses on now." And when everyone put their glasses on, she picked someone out and went, "You look really funny." And she was just having a bit of a laugh with it all. It was nice. If they don't say "May the Force be with you," though, I always feel a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, didn't. See, that's another thing. Because I was expecting it and I looked at him, but he just closed the door. Someone said just before they tuned in to, where was it? Sorry, Cheryl was saying, here to see how Chris found the RER if he used it. Now, if we don't get onto transport, if we don't get onto transport, we will discuss it probably next week, Cheryl. So if we don't answer that now, maybe we will. But if we don't, do tune in next week, please. And also, I'd like us to do a video on a separate video on travel, because I know I've been talking about doing one for driving, but we've got a load more information here now, and I think we could do something with this probably between us. And I have to say, over the last 5 years and 2 families, we've done pretty much everything. I think the only thing we haven't done is ferry from Dover. But we have done tunnel from Dover and ferry. We've done ferry from Hull. We've done all sorts. Anyway, I just want to say before we move on from the heat thing that if you are going in the near future, it is going to be really hot, at least for the next couple of weeks. And I did do a video on how to cope with the heat in Disneyland Paris. And I also did a secret spots in Disneyland Paris thing, which also tells you where the shady spots are to sit down. So I recommend you go and watch both of those. It'll help you out next time. I think I just need to get us all now saying we're doing trip reports, because we're going to tangent, aren't we, if we don't? Yes. So from now, trip reports are beginning. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
I haven't got a jingle for that.
But we are focusing, aren't we, on Avengers Campus, aren't we? Because
specifically.
Because it's the new thing.
Yeah, because I could talk about everything today.
It's the centrepiece of my new video.
So the first thing that we have to say happened is we were there from Saturday to Tuesday. Chris got there Sunday night. We met up for tea.
Went to Napiano's.
And then the following...
Sweatiano's it was.
God, wasn't it?
Wow.
Oh, my word. The hottest place on earth.
Yeah.
We spent the Monday morning apart as a group, and then we met up, the 2 families, at about 12:30 to get into Avengers Campus. So I'm going to start the trip report there. Having said what I've just said, that means there is a full day and a half before the point that we're starting, which we may dip in and out of. But for your intents and purposes, we're starting in the middle of day 2.
Is everybody clear? Are you on the same page?
Right.
Let's do this.
So,
assemble.
Before we go into details of rides,
Sorry, Hannah's watching from the park.
What? Oh, God.
Oh, she said it's tipping it down.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, my word. No, that's amazing.
She's just done the first 2 roller coasters ever.
Ooh.
Which ones, Hannah? Oh, you see, I get all sucked in talking to chat. And we
I
need
did
to
my
stay.
first 2 Disney roller coasters, and one of them was Avengers Campus.
So
Ooh, I wonder which it could have been.
we're going to talk about rides, we're going to talk about food, and then we're going to talk about other experiences. But before I do, I'm going to say to the boys, what is your first impact of the land as a whole, without talking details?
Well, the first thing you have to do is put aside the fact that at the moment there's just fencing the whole way in, and it's just a little bit off-putting, because as soon as you get through that, I honestly think it's quite a stunning little thing to look at. It feels big, like it feels vast. The way that it's built, as you go in, it's almost like quite a narrow corridor, particularly because it was quite busy when we got there. And then at the other side, it all opens out again, and that in itself just makes it feel like a hub, like a bustling hub. And I get that whole idea of it being a campus. It does feel like you're in a university, or that kind of place. Sorry, go on. I was just going to say I was really taken by it. That's all. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well, same. I mean, I wasn't expecting it because I deliberately not looked at sort of too many pictures of it. But when you first go in, it has this layered effect of the buildings. Like you say, it's quite tight at the start, at the front of it, and it's like Galaxy's Edge. That it has that kind of appeal of the different shaped buildings stacked up. I don't know oversell it. It's not quite as grand as that, but it's like a mini little version of that type of thing. And there's loads of trees in there, which is always good, because you think, oh, they just put those in the concept artwork. When you get there, there's not.
They won't be there.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of trees actually.
So to talk about what it was like before, one of the biggest problems with it was a straight road, which meant it was a wide rectangle going down. You could
Tarmac.
see flat things there, flat buildings on both sides. So it had no depth of field. Now, the thing is, what Hugh said about the layers is on both sides, the buildings curved and moved and had different sized blocks and dimensions. So as you look straight down, there was so much to look at, and everything felt separate and different, but all cohesive and as one.
And what takes you immediately is how established these buildings look. I mean, because they've used weathered bricks to put things to build the web adventure building. It's all like clean concrete on the other side. That there are old advertisements and painted walls and things that are all faded. And the way in which they've done it, it's stunning. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to remember what it used to look like when you stood there, because Pym Kitchen, which was Restaurant des Stars, it's nothing like it.
No.
The Web Adventure, which was Armageddon, it's nothing like it. It's like being in a completely different place.
I think that's the only thing that was actually raised to the ground was Armageddon.
Yeah.
But all the others, it's really hard to get your brain. It's really hard to get your brain around the fact that they've repurposed the buildings that were already there. I would think they'd flattened everything and started again if I hadn't watched them do it. Over the years, watch it progress. It's very kinetic as well. I mean,
So
just
kinetic.
so kinetic. Just to say, as we walked in, there was Ant-Man meeting on the left.
Very tall Ant-Man.
He was very tall.
but
He'd made himself
too big.
about half a foot bigger.
And this is where it's very gardenish, little gardenish area there. And then as we walked down, because the first thing we had was a reservation for Pym Kitchen.
Yeah.
So we were really just going straight to Pym Kitchen, essentially. But as we walked down, on our right, there was Spider-Man on the roof and a bunch of people looking up there. And then we could hear a dance party down the bottom and see Captain America on a platform in the distance. So I'm not telling...
No, it was Iron Man.
Oh, was it Iron Man
Yeah,
at
it
that
was
point?
Iron Man,
She
yeah.
was there later on, wasn't she? So I'm not telling you, I'm not jumping ahead and telling you the whole day. I'm telling you the first 45 seconds in the land, we could see all these things. And that was so exciting.
Hi, Oliver. Elle says, did you have to queue to get in? Now, we had reservations for Pym Kitchen, so we just got straight in.
Right.
Was there a queue next to the lane we went through?
So basically, there were 2 separate lanes. So there's one for if you got a booking for Pym Kitchen, or if you got a reservation for the training camp.
Yeah.
And then the other side was for you people who are slumming it. But the whole time I was there, I never saw anybody queuing to get in. to actually get in. And on the app, it was never more than 5 minutes wait. So yes, when we went, it was busy when we went in, all of us. When I went in again a couple of other times, it didn't feel as busy. I think a lot of people were going in first thing, starting their visit off there. You could see in extra magic time, in early magic hours, people were queuing for the studios because there isn't early magic hours in studios now. People were queuing to get into the studios for 9:30. They were going there for 8:30 to wait for 9:30 opening time. And that was to get them straight in there so they could go straight onto Web Slingers. I'm never going to remember to call it Web Adventure. To go straight on Web Slingers and get into there before it got too busy. And I think a lot of people, once have done that, have then gone on and done other things. So I think the first part of the day is when it's busiest. But that ride is constantly 80 minutes, 90 minutes long.
It is.
The floor. It's all about the floor for me. And even though, I'll be honest, it's not the most exciting of things, but it's like it's paved and it's got interesting things, and it's got like these like coloured glass,
like marble tiles,
bricks in there which change colour depending on which side you're on. You know, they're sort of like a little, like an enlarged lenticular, so the green or the blue. So it's just nice to have a nice new floor, because the floor kind of it really finishes it off.
And what's at the end of it that really finishes it off? The thing that everybody wants to see when they go into Avengers Campus.
Well,
the most important thing.
It's
the Quinjet.
A Quinjet.
Yeah, and underneath the Quinjet.
Are you two joking though? Because when I got excited about the Quinjet a few months ago, you were both like,
no, it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
It is quite cool, but it's just funny that it's not like, it's kind of scraping the barrel for iconic ships, isn't it? If they put it's not the Quinjet, it's a Quinjet.
It's still nicer than the deployment vehicle, which was always in exactly the same space underneath the Quinjet down there for characters to stand on.
It's no X-wing, is it? On top of Star Tours or just next to
It
Star
isn't.
Tours?
It isn't. However, if you spend much time looking at the X-wing above the Darth Vader thing, it's too
small.
Doesn't feel quite real.
Too stumpy.
Whereas the Quinjet does feel like it's real. I will give it that. Also, by the way, when it gets dark, Friday on the front of Flight Force is superb. She all lights up and she talks. When Iron Man's up there, doing his bit, he talks to Friday and actually has conversations with her, which is pretty cool.
That's really good.
I'm just putting my jacket on. I know we're not talking about this yet, but Hannah says her boyfriend Ross is also wearing
You're making me feel even hotter
the
here.
Euro Disney rain jacket, which I got. I love it. I'll probably never wear it, but no, I will wear it. I will. I probably won't wear it in England. Well, maybe I will. In England, I'm gonna show you the back.
For those people listening, he was showing you his back.
It says 1992 on it.
Too hot for this.
It is. Oh, man.
The Iron Man thing, though, I know we're going to talk about other stuff, but there is always something going on. This is the thing that really took me most about the whole land, is there is always something going on, whether it's Wakandans dancing or Star-Lord and Gamora having a dance-off with people, or Iron Man. There's above all of the web adventure, it's so industrial, and there's platforms where people are up there, and even if there were workers up there doing things, actual workers up there, but it felt like it was part of what you were in. It didn't feel like they were in the way. They could go there and do what they were doing because it didn't matter. And so there's Spider-Man over there doing something. There's people there, like I said before, Loki and Thor were going out to see people, and they were spending time like just banging on the window and saying hello to everybody. The interaction in general, it's far better than your average meet and greets.
And it just never stopped.
No.
The time we were there, it was just because did it go on late at night because we weren't there? Because
they were still doing it. So the last time
in the
we
Disneyland
went,
Park,
we
it
went
all
until
stops at
closing time.
4 o'clock, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
It would be nice to
meets
see
and
it
greets.
at dusk. See
It
what's
would.
going on with the light.
That's when we
change.
were there last. It was ace.
Do those glass tiles glow up at night on the floor?
Do you know what? I didn't look. I imagine so. I think they did.
Yeah,
I think they did.
maybe.
Seem to remember
Claire's
them being
asked
very vivid.
a couple of times now, so I just want to say I did get my Spirit jersey. Yes, I would love to be wearing it right now, but honestly, this kitchen is hotter than hell.
And I got my book.
Oh, yes, you did. Save it for the haul. Save it for the haul. So the next thing we did was we all went to Pym Kitchen. So if you went in Restaurant des Stars before, they've used the same literal kitchen and the seating area, but they've redone the facade, they've redone the entrance area, and they've refitted the buffet and seating area.
Mm-hmm.
So the entrance is like a fluorescent light tunnel, and it is so cool. As soon as you're going, it's very wide, it's very high, and it's white as well, so it feels really light and lovely.
The glass tiles do glow, says Hannah.
Good, yes, thank you.
And my main memory of Restaurant de Stars before is there was like this really narrow corridor you had to queue down, and then they'd sort of send you to another. And I just remember being really cramped on entrance. Now this was the exact opposite. It was a big open area to walk in. There was only a couple of families there milling around. Beautiful. Now what they've done to improve the seating area is they've zoned it off into a few different sort of curved areas. So you only ever feel like you're in a dining room area with a dozen other tables, as opposed to it used to be very canteenish, didn't it? It was one massive big area. So that's kind of the ambience. They had like polished concrete walls, didn't they? And
Which you didn't like, but I loved.
Well, Hugh pointed something out about the artwork.
Well, Chris and I were looking at there's these big posters of Ant-Man and the Wasp, because the sort of the story behind this is that the like creative solutions to food, food shortages, I guess, where they're making things bigger. So you've got Ant-Man and the Wasp helping to load these trucks with these giant like bottles and with giant
rolling a cheese down a hill.
Yeah, things like that. But like that's kind of funny to look at. But then we were trying to justify this as being like a real restaurant. And if it was a real restaurant, if we're imagining we are in the Marvel universe and we're in Pym Kitchen for real, would they have these goofy pictures on the wall? Not really.
No.
So, but I'm not complaining as such, because like, you have to just say, well, it's not real. And most people wouldn't even pick up on that, would they? We would just sort of going, it just kind of takes away a little bit. It makes it a bit goofy. But then it's fun. It is fun. Did any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm trying to work out
what you could do instead.
No, exactly what the Imagineers were thinking, because if it was, they've opened a restaurant for people from the outside, it does kind of make sense. But if it's meant to be almost like a staff canteen or for other Avengers, it doesn't make sense.
It fits in with Scott's playful nature, though, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So in that sense, can I just jump in on a conversation that's taking place in the chat, please?
Yeah, of course.
Or is this the recommendation for
restaurants?
restaurants?
Because Oliver asked about recommendations for restaurants, and there's been a couple of recommendations for Jack's and Walt's. I personally would say Walt's over Jack's, because I think it's more accessible food. But that's with me with two kids. But it might not be the same for you guys. Oliver said he doesn't that Walt's closes too early for him, so and he's not adventurous enough to eat at Captain Jack's.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a buffet, I would say downtown is great. Next to Pym Kitchen, probably one of the better ones. Maybe look at Plaza Gardens and see if you can get a character evening meal. That'd be pretty cool. Plaza Gardens is lovely. But you've the other one that I love is the steakhouse. What's that called?
Silver Spur.
Silver Spur Steakhouse is really, really good.
Lucky
if
Nuggets
that's open.
good if that's open at that time as well, which is
They're on the
cheaper
dining
option.
plan though, so you want to go for
okay.
get your money's
Ellie
worth.
B, if you've got a fussy 10-year-old who only likes beige food, any of the buffet restaurants,
Us too.
they've always got a kids section, and it's always got chicken nugs and fries. Even if it's got some other good stuff as well, they always have that kind of, they know what their audience is, so just do any of the buffet restaurants, you should be fine.
Also, Ellie, and anybody else who wants to listen, Manhattan is very Italian, but if your kids like pasta and tomato sauce, it's a very simple thing. But for me, that was an absolute highlight of a place to go and eat. It was an absolutely brilliant meal, beginning to end. Manhattan. And Lucas, he just loved it. Everything about it. He said it was the best food that he'd had the whole week.
That's
and he was
at
happy with his
the
chicken nuggets, etc. At Marvel.
That's at the Art of Marvel Hotel, New York. For anyone who's
I'm going to do a few food videos because I've done the dining plan every single time we've been, so I know that inside out. So I'll do a video about the dining plan. I'm going to do a video about the buffets, because there's only one I think that I haven't eaten at now, and I'm going to do a one for the sit down table service as well, because there's only a couple that I haven't been to there as well, so I can give some pretty decent information on them I think now. So I'm going to do 3 videos.
Which buffet haven't you been to?
Now you're asking. Let's talk about something else, and it'll come back to you in a minute.
I will say, if you're a bit afraid of it being a bit too adventurous at Captain Jack's, I don't really like seafood. In fact, I said yesterday in Scarborough, we walked past 2 seafood stalls, and I looked at it and I said, I wish I liked it. I wish I liked it. It looks so interesting. It's just I don't appreciate the taste of the sea. I just don't. But Captain Jack's, I went there, and there's plenty else.
The mahi was lovely.
That's what I had.
The quinoa salad, the starter was superb.
I'm saying that, but it's not. Sometimes if it's not just about seafood, if you're quite picky in general, actually, I did have like a kind of a curry or something, and so it wasn't exactly like straight up. It was still quite fussy. But
you're not getting chicken and chips.
But all I'm saying is, if you don't want to go because you don't like seafood, then you might be missing out. Because it's not all seafood.
No, it's
not.
But
what did you think to the food specifically in Pym Kitchen there? Take it away, boys.
I have a word. Mm-hmm. The word that I have.
I know what the word is.
Firstly, I should say that I really, really enjoyed what I ate. I enjoyed the surrounding. I enjoyed everything about this place. But Hugh, do you know what the word is going to be? Because the word I'm going to use is bloaty. And the reason I say that is because the starters, the main courses were all bread-based.
Like you say, bready.
And the desserts were all cake-based. So everything was a spongy.
Can I just interrupt here? Because I think you went to the wrong end of the buffet.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
Because I didn't have, in my entire meal, any bread. And I had not a paella. I had a jambalaya.
Jambalaya, yeah.
And they had a massive big dish of jambalaya, and I spooned it into a smaller dish, so that was half it. And then I got to have
I didn't realise it was jambalaya. I thought it was paella, so I avoided it. Well, I don't mind paella.
Then I had pork belly.
I like jambalaya.
Then I had pork belly, and I had a mixture of vegetables, and they had different colour carrots to make them look all weird and sciencey.
Purple?
And purple carrots
White.
and yellow carrots and all this kind of thing. And I managed to fill my plate with what I call real food, as in not American snack food, so sort of like meat and vegetables and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it was all there. I think I made a bit of a mistake. I went with the boys and I was sorting out Ollie's plate. Now I learned from this straight away, and it didn't happen at the other buffets the rest of the week, but I went and I served myself whilst I was serving him. So as I went to the burgers, I got him a little burger. I got me a big slice of burger. But I wanted to experience the whole giant and smaller things. I wanted to get a big like a slice from a giant burger and a little mini slider and do those kinds of things. So it was a conscious decision what I did. I didn't fancy the pork, although it did look really nice. And I did avoid the jambalaya for a very similar reason to Hugh. I thought it was paella.
Yeah. I made the biggest mistake of all, though, which was I went up with Bonnie and we got ourselves a couple of plates, the same size plates. I didn't really like. I sat down with my tiny plate, full to the brim with food, and I looked around and you all had adult plates.
That's part of the Pym Kitchen thing, surely.
Yeah. So,
it's a rookie mistake at those buffets.
There are two different sizes of plate, which I'm sure no one else will make that mistake other than me, but I did.
So just to clarify what the big and small thing is, the main sort of novelty things where they would have a massive burger and you would get a slice of a burger like a cake, and they would have a massive hot dog and you would get a slice of a hot dog like a cake again. Well, like a Swiss roll, I suppose. But then they also had tiny little slider burgers about the size of, somebody give me an analogy. How big's that?
Just call them sliders.
Yeah, just
the sliders. Everyone knows what a slider is.
Little slider burgers, and they'd have miniature hot dogs, I think, as well.
Mini hot dogs as well. Yeah.
And those were the main kind of big, small things that they had. Obviously, they had this massive dish of jambalaya, which I think was supposed to be part of the theme, but the contents are just the same.
And they had a giant strawberry dessert you had sliced of, didn't they?
Yeah.
Elle was asking. Was it Elle? Was asking what drink Lucy had.
Oh yeah, it was cool. Was that?
It's just called a mocktail.
Well, no, it's the. I've got because I took a picture of the drinks menu. I think it's this.
Signature mocktail.
In the signature mocktail. What it's called, Particles Mocktail. Oh no, this is just the description.
Yeah.
Particles Mocktail and red fruit serum. But it's just called the signature mocktail.
So basically, on the I want to say program because I'm a theatre person. On the menu, they've got signature cocktail, signature mocktail, and signature wine. That's it. So
that they can change it on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly.
The kids, go on.
It was basically it was blue juice, which it'll tell me what I am.
Give me some blue juice.
Particles.
But then it was strawberry syrup that you poured into it, and it oozed down over the ice. It looked absolutely amazing as it went down.
It was cool, yeah.
The Bonnie and the boys really enjoyed the fact that they served their pop in,
I'm muffed in.
in what you call it?
Flasks.
Flasks.
They had
chemists' flasks.
like scientific flasks.
They loved that.
I was
Yeah, it was
disappointed
cool.
in ours though, because we didn't get flasks. We had,
Those
the
glasses
jam
that'll shape
jars.
like cans.
Yeah, the glass versions of what's the
The 330 milliliter
330
can.
millimeter can, but it's just a glass
In glass
yeah,
form, yeah.
Which it still looked kind of cool though.
I was
It's better
also
than just-
disappointed because I love pretzel bread. I just love it. And they came in with the hook for the pretzel and then put a normal sized pretzel on it.
Yeah, that was a
And
bit
I was
weird,
like,
wasn't it?
"Oh." Because the hooks were high enough off the ground. I wondered if they'd always intended for
They,
them to
they
be
were
giant.
they were naan bread hooks. You know when you have a naan bread in a curry house and they bring it out and they hang it for you. It was like that,
I wonder
but
if
with a regular sized pretzel.
I
on
wonder
it.
if they were suggesting that it was, the tiny pretzels you get in a little like crisp packet.
Yeah.
If it was one of those blown up,
It's
but then
that
that just
crispy.
makes it still just a normal large
There
pretzel.
wasn't really any of the magic there, was there? So when you see the videos of California and they're showing like pretzels disappearing into a thing and then coming out,
Getting blown up, yeah.
there wasn't any of that, and that it was missing that. For
There was
me
a
little bit, but-
screen above the buffet area showing things going in and being enlarged.
Yeah.
But it was clearly a screen with CG things on there, and that's as close as we got to I think seeing like these things being enlarged in front of your very eyes.
Pauline Stott says the salmon was absolutely amazing in there. Cooked in lemon and ginger. It's got some.
I think I had some of the salmon.
The
I
salmon
went
in
that
general
side.
is really good at DLP.
I went that
All the
side of
fishes.
the buffet, and I had a selection of a lot of those things. I think I had a bit of the salmon and some green beans and
Kids, because you talked about fussy kids, right? So the kids, there's a kids corner, and the food in there is little burgers that are plain with just ketchup and cheese on them, like little fries, so really thin little fries. Chicken nuggets, only they're not chicken nuggets, they're deep fried cauliflower.
oh yeah.
3 different colours of cauliflower
be
and some
careful.
rice, and that was pretty much the kids' choice. There wasn't a great range. There really wasn't. There was a yogurt, frozen yogurt machine there, so if you wanted to get froyo, you could do that. And obviously they could pick from the puddings, which was good. Ollie went absolutely nuts because I said, "What would you like for pudding?" And he looked at it and he said, "I want
Everything.
chocolate cake. Can I have chocolate cake?" I said, "Yeah, you can have chocolate cake." And I said, "There's some ice cream over there. Do you want that?" He said, "I can have chocolate cake and ice cream."
Yeah.
And he went
What
on
a
about
time
this
to
whole
be
holiday.
alive.
What was your favourite meal this week, Lucas?
Pudding.
At Oliver. It was when I had chocolate cake, when Daddy let me have chocolate cake and ice cream.
Wow. I feel bad now because we gave Bonnie about 5 desserts. There's blue custard.
There's
yeah,
there's blue custard, and there was
Yeah, somebody spoiled my dessert, didn't they, Lucy? For the purpose
Yeah.
of cameras.
I was like, I saw him pouring, because they have these big flasks again. It looks all scientific, and he was pouring some strawberry syrup on his cake. And I saw him do it, and I was like, oh, just do that again, so I can get a shot of you for the vlog. And then I fiddled around with my camera, and the whole time you were pouring syrup on your thing.
Have you ever had strawberry coulis? Because strawberry coulis is very intense flavour, and what you want is just a little bit. That's why when you go into a restaurant and you have a dessert that has
put
coulis
a
on
little
it, they put
stripe
little
on.
dots all the way around,
Back
or
of a
like a
spoon.
smear, and then
Yeah.
And I was pouring for a good 30 seconds, I reckon.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Lucy.
I just want to say
It was
that
tart.
the best thing for me in catering at Disneyland Paris in general is desserts at buffet restaurants, because it's fine patisserie. That's what they do, and so you've got these
It's
really
when France
tiny.
comes into its own.
It
Oh, yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's the best of French cuisine, basically. And you've got these tiny little petit fours. They've never failed for us in any buffet restaurant we've ever been, and they're always very themed and very unusual. You're not getting boring stuff. I was getting like this honeycomb thing for the wasp, and it was honey cheesecake, but it was kind of shaped like a cell of a. Just delicious.
They are amazing. What did let it down a bit for me was the giant cakes. And again, it was sponge cake and blue custard. I didn't have any of the custard, but the thing about those bits for me was, and this is not necessarily a bad thing. It was like your old school dinners. It was really was like that. It was like when you get a slab of ginger cake and some custard. That's what it was like. And for me, having just had all the burgers and stuff beforehand, it was just too much. I was so full.
We were saying about the kids' corner. I mean, it's maybe not the best for kids, but they can get anything else from anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking hot dogs, burgers.
Yeah.
So
To be clear, also none of us have mentioned, because none of us went there, but they did have a full section that had sort of your starter salads thing. They had
none
a
of us
season.
got the salad.
This is one of the things, I said this to Laura on the last day, that we didn't do this time, but when we went before, we did. What they have in those buffets is they have a starter section, a main course section, and a dessert section. What most stupid British people do is go and load the plate up with everything
All
and
at
then go
once.
and have pudding.
Yeah.
But what you should be doing, and then there's cheese. There's usually a cheese platter as well, so you can go
Yeah.
and have cheese and some bread and stuff as well, and take it at your leisure. But we all move at such a pace. We don't tend to do that. The first time we went and had starter, main course, and dessert every time. But this time we just hadn't done it all.
So there was like a Caesar salad section that was particularly for Caesar salad. They had all the bits, the crouton, the cheese.
They have giant croutons.
I think they had tiny croutons.
They have
didn't
tiny ones.
The tiny,
yeah.
like the dust croutons, and Caesar sauce for you to pour on. They also had the usual sort of deli meat section with the feta cheese and that kind of thing. So there was that as well. Just to jump on Hugh's,
It's not special though, is it? A Caesar salad.
to be absolutely clear, is if you do pay for a child in a buffet restaurant, you don't have to stick to the children's corner. That's just for the people who want the chips.
And
They
likewise,
can go
as
and
an
have
adult,
jambalaya and everything.
If you want the kids' food, go get it. As an
Absolutely.
adult, you can have that too.
Especially when most of the buffets have pizza in the kids' bit. So
That-
if you want a slice of pizza
Yeah.
with your food,
That
that's where
reminds
to go.
me, Magical by Sarah's asking.
Side of pizza.
Magical by Sarah's asking, can adults? This is to go back a bit.
Mhm.
Sorry, order from the children's menu in Captain Jack's because she says I'm a bit fussy too.
In the a la carte, I guess you would be able to, wouldn't you?
I suppose so. Yeah, like in Florida,
You pay
like,
the amount
It doesn't
you pay.
matter. No one cares. No one
Yeah.
questions it. In France, you know,
Je ne sais pas.
I wouldn't 100% say yeah, it's fine. You might get someone who says, sorry, you're not allowed that. That is for the children. I'm sorry. You might get that. I don't know. It's just a little bit different over there sometimes. But do you know what? If that ever happened, I'd say, look, I have a condition, and all I can have on this menu is what's on the kids' menu. So I will have that, please, or I'll be making a complaint.
Can I tell a quick Captain Jack
You'll
story?
be fine. You can get kids' food
Yeah.
if you want.
So we went to Captain Jack's. This isn't about my dining experience at all, but there was a lady who was seated just before us on her own, and she got a badge on for her birthday and stuff. She disappeared off in. Anyway, halfway through the meal, they started singing Happy Birthday, and they brought her out a cake. So we were having a debate of, because she looked really shocked when she got it, has she bought that cake herself and then pretended to look shocked, or was that pixie dust, or has a friend who knew she was dining there provided that cake for her? Because she had one slice of it, then put it in a box and left. And it felt a little bit wasteful. If it had been me, I would have shared it out with everybody who was in the room.
Yeah.
So something we found in Florida is when you book it on the app, it says are you celebrating anything special? So you can put birthdays, first visit, anniversary, whatever, something like that. But there's not really anywhere to do that, is there here? So,
You can buy a cake, though,
Yeah, you can.
for 35
I don't
euros.
think he's talking a little cupcake. I think
No, it was a
you mean
full-size
a
cake.
celebration
35 euro
cake.
celebration cake, yeah.
yeah, so that must have been so that must have been paid
Yeah.
for.
Somebody's booked that.
Or was
yeah.
it pixie
It
dust?
could be pixie dust.
It could be pixie
It
dust.
must have been, mustn't it?
I hope so. We didn't get any pixie dust this time.
No, we didn't even get on Peter Pan.
We didn't.
Lucas got a sticker.
All right.
Aw.
He got, you know, the packaging stickers in the shops that they use for sealing up the bags and stuff. And,
Yeah.
he was just buying some popcorn, and she went, "Here you go, have a sticker." It's a bit of something and nothing.
A price sticker.
Yeah, a bit of something and nothing, but it was kind of
On
nice.
his head.
So straight after Pym Kitchen, we went across the road. Well, I think we went for a wee.
Took a deep breath and had
When-
80-minute queue, didn't we?
Across the road, and we decided as a group we were just going to do web slingers. We weren't going to wait till the
It
queue
was
went down.
nerve-wracking
Anything.
because Bonnie hadn't been for a wee, and I thought we're going to be here for it was going to be
Yeah.
an hour-long queue.
Well, I think it
80
said
minutes, wasn't it?
80 minutes. In actual fact, it turned out to be an hour.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The queue is a little industrial, and it does have switchbacks inside. Having said that, I didn't find it unpleasant at any time.
The
I think-
inside's not so bad. It's the outside bits that was the worst. Like in terms of theming and stuff, was the worst bit. But okay.
What were you doing?
Oh, is it web
I'm
slingers bag?
showing this
Okay.
Disneyland Paris shopping bag, and it's got the web slingers thing on.
I should have brought mine because it's a smaller version of
So,
it.
so there were times we went on Big Thunder
Nice.
Mountain a couple of times this time, and there's when you get inside that can be really unpleasant with it's too narrow, it's too close, there's elbows everywhere. Even though you had the switchbacks inside, it was always quite wide areas that you were in, so it was quite a pleasant thing. You do have one long corridor towards the end, don't you?
Yeah, which is this really weird corridor because part of the theming, there's these lines that follow the corridor.
Yeah.
And as they go around the corner, they drop down. So you automatically watching thinking, oh, there's a staircase there.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of
It's like
internationally recognised
It's like an
as being...
optical illusion. Like it's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, like as you look down the corridors, you can just see the wall going around the corner, and then the line, the border drops down, and it just in your mind, all you see is
Twice.
that's-
2 different corners that happen
That's
to
going
me.
down. Yeah, that's going down some stairs.
But all they do is they go along, then they go down, and then they meet up, and then they come back up again. And they do that several times along this corridor.
So there's no steps or
It's
anything.
very confusing.
Yeah, did you mention the first bit that we went in, like the first bit of queue, which would be, you know, if it's quieter, you'd pass straight through it, but it was just empty. Like, we were snaking through it, and the walls were bare.
It was the very nice brick walls, but
Yeah.
it was just a brick wall with nothing on it.
But it was just, well, it was grey, it wasn't grey panels, and I was saying if it was just a picture of Spider-Man there, anything there.
A massive video screen, we were saying, weren't they?
Yeah.
If they put in a big video screen like they have in Star Tours with just some, you know, we could be anything.
Mind you-
the campus bits from Spider-Man, the two of them having a chat,
Yeah.
something like that would have been brilliant.
Mind you, it's supposed to be a college campus, so it's just maybe not a picture of Spider-Man, but whatever would be appropriate for that campus, just anything.
They could have had video of so
Minor
in the next
complaint,
bit
though, minor complaint.
they have posters up with 4 characters, one of them being Peter Parker, but 3 others. And they could have had bits with them, couldn't they? They could have
Yeah.
had something there that, just.
I
brought
do
it to life a
feel
bit
like
more.
that's something that could very easily update as
And they
time
might do,
goes
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I mean, it's a brand new
Yeah,
land,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So then we got onto the ride. Now, what did you think of the ride itself?
Well, we had a pre-show,
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, of course we did, yeah.
so there's a pre-show.
With Tom Holland
Yeah.
there, speaking French.
With Tom Holland speaking French, using a very clever system that automatically translated what he was saying into English. So basically, it was being dubbed over in French, and then there was English subtitles, which seemed a little bit pointless to me.
Like a step too many.
Yeah, a little bit.
So a little pre-show there. Now, the ride, I mean, it was great.
It was.
It's like, you know... It's
Toy Story Mania in Florida. If you've been there, it's basically the same
It's
sort of
that,
ride
But
vehicles.
without a gun, you use your hands. And you can just punch. You can just move your arms. So, you know, you don't have to do the Spider-Man thing because it's quite kind of difficult. Now, I didn't realise...
I
So-
don't think we've fully explained what it is. Sorry. So it's a motion capture thing, and as you move, it recognises your gestures, and then you're basically playing a video game.
Shoot
so
webs.
there's loads of spider bots appearing on the screen, and you are shooting webs out of your hands, and it's fairly kinetic. You can see your own webs. It is quite accurate. You shoot all these spiders, and you get a score at the end.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. What were you saying?
Well, our two families separated, but we were facing each other.
Yeah, we were in separate pods facing
Every
each
now and
other.
again, weren't we? There was us three and a French girl with us. Now I didn't realise.
Random French girl.
I
with
didn't
the single
realise. I
riders.
think there were 4 rounds. So 4 sort of
Screens.
well, I was going to say environments, Chris.
Yeah, okay.
4 screens.
You're taken to 4 different rooms.
In 4 different real rooms. I thought we were kind of just playing as a team. And in particular, in the first room, I was really deliberately going, spray. I'm going to spray over here. And I'm going to try this. And then Lucy said, yes, I'm winning. And I was like, what? This is a competition. Didn't
Because
realise.
I was doing this
Yeah.
like that, like a
Well,
crazy
then
one.
after that, I went crazy trying to catch up. I've never caught up because, I was 25% behind to begin with. But do you know that bit, Chris, in The Matrix, the third one, where someone's in like a mech suit and they're just getting overwhelmed with the robots?
Yeah.
And he's just going, ah, ah, ah. I was like that, but with my fists. I was just going, ah, ah.
It is so
Oh,
exhausting.
we were all sweating when we came
We were.
off.
More than we were
I
before.
thought, like, the way my arms felt, I thought I am definitely going to feel that the next day. I think I kind of did a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, it is exhilarating to go to physically use your body and raise your heart rate is exhilarating in itself. So when you queue for 80 minutes for something and it's nice and pleasant and it's Peter Pan and you go, that was
Peter
nice.
Pan? Oh, Peter Pan. Sorry, okay.
And you go, that was nice. You don't feel like you've been rewarded for
Well-
it. Now, thing is, when we came off this, I was physically exhilarated. I was giggling.
We were
I was
pumped,
jumping up and
man.
down.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to go straight back on. And so
If we didn't have the kids, I'd have
so
had
you forget all about that 60-minute wait that you've just had.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the experience that you're having at this moment in time. And I just think that is the genius of rides like this.
And, Hugh,
Yes.
in the pre-show, they told us we needed to go and help them save the day. And we actually went and helped them save the day.
Yes.
Yeah, for the first time, because we also did that in the next ride, where it was like, we need your help to guide these missiles away. And we're going, why us, though? We've just wandered in here like a bunch of idiots.
Very nervous idiots.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that next.
Shall we? Yeah, should we go on to Flight Force?
Can I say
then?
something else about Web Adventure?
You won.
We went back, but we did win. As a family, we won, yeah. And I won.
You won individually, yeah.
So we went back on it on our last full day, and we queued 80 minutes again for it. And halfway through, Ollie got a little bit upset because he'd knocked his glasses onto the floor, so he picked them up and he put them back on. When we got off the ride, he was crying his eyes out,
no.
absolutely bawling, because he didn't have his glasses anymore, because at some point he'd thwipped so hard against his glasses that he'd knocked them out of the vehicle onto the floor in front of it. He'd actually lost his glasses.
Oh, do you know what? I have to give some important warning here. For anyone who has loose wedding rings,
Oh, yeah.
I went like that and I hadn't fully closed my fist. And then I learned you have to do the Spider-Man thing to keep your wedding ring on. Because the first whip I did, I nearly lost my wedding ring. So just please, please, please keep that in mind.
Have you seen what David Wilson's put in the chat?
No.
He says, when the image of your face and arms appear on the pod screen, did you try making it do the YMCA? I told the kids it was a cheat code. So at the beginning on the screen at the bottom, it shows a body and your arms are like this. So when you move your arms around, it moves on the screen. So you get an idea of how it works. I don't think Lucas did this because he was leaning into Laura all the time. So Laura was pretty sure that she was getting points from Lucas because his arm was over on her, in her space.
I don't remember that.
Oh, also, whole fact. Laura, the boys have been so good on the holiday. Laura got them both the web accessories that help with the game. We didn't get to use them because we bought them as we came off that.
Oh,
that
well, you
ride.
have to go back then.
Yeah, but one of them is one of the things that we haven't sent back. The Iron Man one is, I don't know if anyone else has bought them, but it's quite flimsy and it pulls the repulsor on the front of it. It pulls out of the rest of the piece, like stretches out and goes back in again. But it seems to have given itself a bit of a loose connection. The Spider-Man one, fantastic. The other one just doesn't seem to be working properly. So we're trying to get it sent back so we can get a replacement. But they're pretty cool. Very expensive though.
They made a video with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I might share that actually. Shall I put that out?
You should.
Yeah. I'll put that
Before
out.
we go into Flight Force, then the next thing we did do was go through the shop because you exit through the gift shop in true style. I was a little underwhelmed by this. I think that they could have the actual layout of the shop and the merchandising could have been a little bit more exciting. It was definitely a shop with islands and
there were two sections. One section was come and get your spider bots here at €70 a pop,
Yeah.
and the other section was come and get your web slinger accessories here at 40 and €30 a pop.
and it
So
was very
it was-
busy.
it was rammed, but you did get a couple of things, didn't you?
We did.
Yeah, and I did when we went back the second time, and I actually, you know, me and my coin collections, I got the Avengers Campus coin as well, which is silver, which is quite cool.
We just got I get a pin for everything momentous, so I needed to get an Avengers Campus pin, so I got a pin for that, and I got Bonnie a little spider bot keyring.
So we didn't get the spider bot keyring at the time, and the boys both wanted one. So when we went back in a couple of days later, we went to get one, and they sold out. But when we went back on the last day, they got them back in stock again, so we were able to get a couple as well.
I've seen this week they've set up stalls outside. This might be to relieve the pressure a bit on that shop.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They've set up stalls outside with people just selling the key rings, and I can't remember what else. Just like little things.
There's a little shop on the entrance as well where you can get the spider bots and the web slinger accessories, and I think they've got some of the stuff in Studio One as well now, so that you don't even have to go into Avengers Campus to get them.
Yeah.
We've only got about 5-10 minutes left.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, so the
Right,
trip
so
reports and
Flight
stuff I had will
Force.
go. We'll do them over the next couple of weeks. David, yours was one of them actually.
So Flight Force, we did this as a team because Laura very kindly took the brood to go see Stitch live, and so then it was just the three of us. Just background, I'm sure you know this if you're regular watchers. I get motion sick very easily. I don't like the big rides. I'm not scared of roller coasters like some people are. It's just not my idea of fun. That's always what I say. I'm like, yeah, not bothered. Hugh loves them. Chris.
Yeah, I'm similar to you. I don't dislike them, but it's never something I choose to do. But I'm trying to be brave because Lucas is starting to get a taste for them. So I want to, like, he was going to go on it with us. The idea was, I think Bonnie was at one point, wasn't she? Maybe.
Well, I think
We kind of know she would have
we
hated
said-
it.
Right,
she
okay,
won't
so
wanna
there you go.
She won't want to go upside down.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
That's
So
fact.
Lucas was kind of going to do it at one point, so I said, "Oh yeah, come on, I'll do it." But also, I thought I can't not do it if you two are doing it. I thought it was important that I did.
I can't believe we got on and we only queued for about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Well-
it wasn't bad, was it?
For a brand new ride, 2 weeks old.
So they've gone all out in the queue experience. Well, after the first bit, then you start getting increasingly like pre-show areas, I suppose. There's video screens, there's information going on. And it is all about Captain America asking you for help saving the world and something
Iron
like
Man.
information screens and Iron Man coming up and...
You've said Captain America twice now when it's been Iron Man.
Oh, I don't mean I meant Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Sorry, do you
When
know
you said
earlier...
her earlier, I thought,
I
"What do you mean her?"
No, I meant Captain Marvel is as big a part of this as Iron Man. You know, all the time we've been calling it the Iron Man coaster. Well, we do have a big animatronic Iron Man in one of the pre-shows, but as far as the actual narrative's concerned, it's 50-50 with him
Yeah.
and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
so
a
there's...
stuck-on face.
But it's very... if you're used to this kind of setup with the pre-shows, they do them a lot more in Florida where they do spend a bit of time telling you why you're there and what you're going to do, and Hugh will joke, you've always got to save the world and all that kind of thing. It's quite standard. It's good quality, as you would expect, but it's standard. And then the ride. I'm going to carry on talking. I thought somebody was going to have something to say, but it's the same track as Rock and Roller Coaster.
Which is the best thing about it.
So they haven't changed the track at all, which
it's
is
quite
great.
rough.
It
Quite a
is.
rough roller coaster, isn't it? Rough and ready.
They've removed the Aerosmith soundtrack, obviously.
Which
They've
was
All the lights.
They've removed
which was the second best thing.
all the theming, which was a lot of neon and brightness and flashing lights, and they've replaced it with next to nothing.
2 films and a meteor.
There's 2 videos and it was a meteor. I said earlier it was a moon,
Or a
and
satellite,
Hugh
whatever it is.
went.
There was a
it
moon.
wasn't
There was a moon
Was
as
there a
well.
moon?
There was a moon, yeah.
But thing is, it is a roller coaster in the dark, which is fine. So is Hyperspace Mountain. So is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. But there's a lot of brightness within it. So is Rock and Roller Coaster. There's lots of neon and shapes and things, and you really. The fact that it's dark actually heightens your sight, so it's more impactful. Now, what they did here was they just left you being flung around in the dark, and occasionally the most inconsequential image of Iron Man would just pop and
And the audio
disappear.
was basically them talking the whole time.
Yeah.
And literally, you can't focus on anything the same
No.
because it's just constant. The only bit that I remember of the whole roller coaster that wasn't in the dark and me thinking, oh, that was quite cool because of what just happened was at one point Captain Marvel said, go left. And the roller coaster went left.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
And that's one of 2 screens. The other screen was Iron Man flew across, didn't it?
There was a vague mention of the missiles. I thought, oh yeah, we're supposed to be doing something with the missiles. Yeah, this thing about this story.
I
is
don't
you
remember
sat
any of
there
this.
like a complete dum-dum, just sat there and going, and being pushed around, going, oh, we're going left now. And like, at the end they go, well done, you helped save the day. And like,
But
The thing is about being on a roller coaster is it lends itself so well to music. But this is why Rock and Roller Coaster was so good, even though it wasn't my thing, is because you're moving, you're swinging, you're beating, and if you have exhilarating, fast, strong music, it all works together so well. This is why I really do like Hyperspace Mountain, even though I'm not a roller coaster person, is because you've got John Williams going through your ears as you zoom through
it needed
things.
Tony Stark's music, didn't it?
It really
needed a bit
did.
of-
Or
yeah.
AC/DC. I heard a
Yeah.
rumour AC/DC was on and it wasn't. So, yeah, the dialogue. I wasn't listening to the dialogue. I heard nothing. It's just
But
noise.
Can I just say, someone who doesn't go on roller coasters an awful lot, I was very nervously laughing about it as I got into the coaster, but I loved every single minute of it. Every second of it was exhilarating for me. I'm not a big fan of roller coasters, so it takes a lot for me to go on one and actually really enjoy it. And I did on that, and I did on Big Thunder Mountain as well this time. So that's definitely changed my views on roller coasters in general. And if that was a bad one, then that's good, isn't it?
Hyperspace Mountain, Chris. You've got to go on Hyperspace
I know,
Mountain.
and you know,
now.
the reason I didn't go on Hyperspace Mountain was because the one time I went and it wasn't more than 15 minutes for a single rider, I'd literally just eaten and I thought, I'm not sure this is a good time for me to do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
I can see that being a factor.
Sarah's just mentioning this, but we think it's more than just a rumour that it's planned to be closed in
Yeah.
January to be overhauled already because of feedback.
It's got
which
an
would make sense, wouldn't it?
An extended closure.
Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, there you go. You need to read that out.
Well,
Just let me finish my sentence. There's an extended closure planned for January, and I don't know when it's going to end, but it does say extended closure, and it is a brand new roller coaster. So this cannot be for maintenance, not when it's only been open 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If there was something dangerously wrong with it, they wouldn't be opening it. So the rumours that it's for re-theming, I think, are strong. Basically. Right, go on, Huey.
well, I didn't know where this was set up, Chris.
I did know it was set up, but I didn't realise it was actually visible to people or anything. I completely forgotten about it because it was set up a couple of weeks ago, and then we haven't done shows, so we haven't really had a chance to talk about it.
We've
But
had a
go on.
super chat
We have.
from the
Oh.
Dunn family. So thank you very much for that.
I should do a jingle for it.
You shouldn't have. Yeah, just like a whoosh. Great report. Can you please give my son, baby Darren? I think there's a word missing from this, but my son,
My son, baby
please
Darren.
give my son, baby Darren,
There you
and
go.
Maisie, granddaughters, Poppy, and Daisy. And then it says off to DLP next Friday. So I think there's a word missing. But I think basically what we're saying is baby Darren and Maisie and granddaughters Poppy and Daisy are going to DLP next Friday. And we want you to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, have a
The other
fantastic
Dunn
time.
family. Yay!
The other Dunn family.
So we want to say, oh boy, hope it's real fun.
Gorsh, have a great time.
No.
Is that any good? Is
Now-
that any good?
And now Lucy does Nicolas Cage.
No,
Nicholas
No.
Cage.
I've
on.
retired
Do
Nicolas
it, come on.
Cage.
There you go.
I've retired him. No one. So
How's my goofy, by the
No.
way? I need to know this.
It's
Should I
good,
just sack
actually,
it? Should I
yeah. It's
retire
good.
it?
No,
Is
it's
that all
good.
right? Good,
It's good.
excellent. So
Very
you need to learn up a Daisy or a
Uh,
Mini, and then we're away.
Okay. I'll work on it. I'll
Work
work on
on
it. So I must say there is one thing that was, in my opinion, very good. Improved about Flight Force is that this was the only ride we did that had got the kiosk set up for the photos, because it's the first time we've really been getting photos on PhotoPass. We haven't got it in previous years. And so we were for the first time experiencing the frustration about having to queue with your number. Sometimes it was brilliant and it was instantaneous. Sometimes it wasn't. We'll talk about it another time. But this one had the self-service,
Yeah.
go and check, and it was so quick and so easy. We could all crowd round the monitor and look at it. It was great.
It was the same in the training centre as well when we did the meet and greets. It was brilliant,
Brilliant.
which I guess we'll talk about another time because we're already
well,
over, aren't we?
I know. I mean,
Do you
thing is, we've got this Stark Factory to talk about, the training
the training
centre.
centre, yeah.
We haven't talked about
Choco Blast.
the Choco Blast
No, yeah.
episode. And like, say you went back in the evening and have other things to mention there. Do we want to make this a long one with another 15 minutes, or do you want to kind of chop it off there and say we're talking about that?
I'm happy to carry on if everyone's happy to carry on, and we'll do it. But
Yeah, we can
I
do
don't
another
know.
10 minutes or
Yeah.
something, can't
Yeah.
we?
I think we can manage on. Yeah.
So let's just touch on those three things,
Yes.
and then that'll be the end of today's. So if you've got any questions going on there, we'll probably come back to them next week because we've got content to do now. So I'll do what we did as a group, and then you can tell us the other
Okay.
couple of experiences. So the next thing we did as a group was contact Laura and go, it was sorry a bit longer than we said, we're on our way out. And that we decided
Really quickly.
really quickly on our way out, we're going to go out via the back entrance, which goes around the back of Tower of Terror. But we wanted a Choco Blast because we'd been talking about these giant
It was the
chocolate
closest
bars.
we could get to a giant, massive chocolate bar.
So I'm like, damn it, we're going to get it. We're going to share it. And it's on the menu at the Super Cafe, which was dead. We went in. There was one family at a table,
Yeah.
one family at a stool.
A couple of
Went
people
in-
outside.
We went in.
And then
through-
Hugh was going to tell you what
We
happened.
went in through an unassuming door, and now we'd been in before, so we kind of knew that was the entrance. But like, I filmed it walking up, and it's just a closed door, unmarked, and you're like, "This is the entrance."
You
is
still
it?
made us go to the other end first, you, because you said, no, that's not where
It
you're
just
going.
didn't look like the entrance, even though that's where we went in last time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went in. I'll quickly tell you the story. We went in, and we said to someone, "Oh, can we just have?" Because no one was like looking at us. So eventually, we caught this lady's eye, and we said, "Can we just have a Choco Blast to go?" And she went, "Oh, yes." So you speak to my colleague serving the people that came in behind us, obviously. So we wait for him, and then he comes over and he says, and we said, "Oh, we don't want to sit down. Can we just have a Choco Blast to go?" And then his next question was, "Are you paying card or cash?" And I had the $5 in my hand. I said, cash. So then he points to the till.
You were like that.
Yeah, there's two guys
Go on there.
cashing up the till. I don't know why that prevented anything. We could have still handed the money over. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have slowed anything down. And then they just kept disappearing. Every time we looked at someone, they were like cleaning something that looked like it didn't need cleaning. It was like they were pretending. It was like we're in the Truman Show.
Lucy then went, can we just have our Choco Blast?
It was honestly one of the strangest experiences I've ever had. It's like all three of us were just standing there, and it's like they were averting their eyes from us. It's like all the members of staff were going, don't look at them.
Hugh said at one moment, I'm expecting Rowan Atkinson to turn up in a second. Love Actually reference. But on your video, I noticed you said, the guy, he disappeared off and he came back with a tray that you put your tips on. That wasn't what it was. Do you know this?
Right.
It's because I'd seen from the other side. So he went into the fridge and he took out the Choco Blast. And he then put it on the side for a second while another colleague went and got a box. And the guy brought the box over and he put the box down. The guy then picked up the tray and he got some tongs and he picked up the Choco Blast and put it into the box. And then he walked around and put the tray down, which is what you saw. Right. And you said, what's he doing? That's just an empty tray. And I went, no, this really is Rowan Atkinson. Because what he then did was he picked up the box and walked to the back of the thing and put it down. He bent down and brought out a bag. He took the bag back over to where the box had previously been and put it down, turned around and went and got the box, brought it back over and put it down. Then he closed the box up and he looked like he was about to put it in. So he opened the bag up, he lifted it up and put it in. Then he turned around and walked away again and came back with a spoon, which he then put in. Then he picked it up and passed it to the other guy who walked it around and gave it to you.
Oh my goodness. It was bonkers. Thing is,
it took nearly 10 minutes.
At least that I can remember, there was at least 5 members of staff because there was 2 dealing with the thing. There were 5 members of staff. And there was, other than the 3 of us, there was 2 other parties there that were both dealt with. So we were just standing there going, can someone bring us a chocolate bar that we asked for 10 minutes ago? And all this time we're also very aware that Stitch has finished and Laura's on her own with 3 kids, and we've said we'll be there. And we've said, we're on our way. We'd said we're on our way. And we
had to eat this thing quickly on a bin. One mouthful each. And then I got it on my shirt.
Did you use a card to cut it?
Yeah.
What did I cut it with?
You cut it with something strange.
I think he tore off the edge of the box and went...
And then you went, oh, God, have you seen what I've done? Because you got chocolate on his shirt. But I didn't realise that's what he'd done. I suddenly realised there was a spoon inside the bag. And I thought that's what you were saying. Look, I've got a bleeding spoon. But yeah, it was all right. I
am not one to... I can put up...
It was good.
It was nice.
Even though I'm quite uptight individual, I can put up with a lot when it comes to customer service because I know how hard the job can be and how awful we can be. But I will admit, when we left, I shook my head as we walked out the door. That was ridiculous.
It wasn't that it was bad. It was really
odd.
Unnecessary. It was really odd. All of it was odd.
It was a beautiful experience. I would love to do it again.
The Choco Blast was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was a nice Choco Blast.
In actual fact, for a bar which was quite big, it was this big. That big, that sort of size.
It's bigger than a Twix.
What, 6 inches long probably?
Five quid.
Like 3 inches deep. And it was all right. It was too rich for one person to eat, I would have said.
Yeah.
A third of it was a good amount.
We should have been in there 20 seconds. It should have been, hi, we have a chocolate blast to go. Yes,
of course you can.
€5. There
People ask us for these all the time.
Yeah.
Bye.
It were bonkers. Right. And then, so that's the end of mine and Hugh's Avengers Campus trip report. Unfortunately, we didn't get back in. Spoiler alert, we couldn't get an annual pass reservation for the 4th day of our trip, so we spent it in the village. But Chris, tell us everything else we don't know.
Do you remember Lime Bertie?
Yes.
And how wonderful it was as a system.
Oh, I love it.
Well, they've got an equivalent system within the app stroke website. Because everyone who uses the app, you know this, right? As soon as you want to do anything that involves you booking or doing anything, it takes you out of it into the website and then back into it again. And it's a bit of a faff. But anyway, we connected our booking to the app, but not the tickets to the app. Because there was at no point do we need to do this. So we were stood in the queue for Ratatouille at 10 o'clock, which is when it came open, the opportunity to book. So you can book at 10 or 2, and there are 4 different meet and greets you can do. Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and an Avenger, from what I can gather.
All right.
Okay.
Lucky dip, blind bag.
Yeah, pretty much. So we thought, we'll go for Spider-Man, see how we get on. And 10 o'clock, it opened up, I was straight in, filled it out. It asked me for the ticket details, who everybody is. So I put all the names in. Then it just asks you which of your party are going, and you tick a box, and that's it. It's done. You've got a slot. And it's basically we'll tell you what time it's going to be. So it said it's going to be about 135 minutes, which for us meant it was going to be right when we were having dinner at Chez Remy, which was a bit of a bugger. But as time went by, it shuffled a bit and it shuffled back a bit, and it looked like it was going to be half an hour after our booking at Chez Remy. So we thought, well, that means it'll be 15 minutes or so late. That's fine. And that's pretty much what happened. So we got down to 0. I got a message saying we need to go now, and we were just eating our starters. And we just thought, well, do you know what? We've probably missed it. Never mind. But we'll go over there anyway and see what happens. We went in straight through the gates, straight up to the campus, to the training camp section. And the guy just went, "Yep, come in." Sat us down on a seat, and he said, "Every time that seat moves forward, you move forward into the next seat." Yeah, fine. And we just moved forward, and we went straight in. It was brilliant. And while we were sat there waiting, there was Thor and Loki walked past and did a bit of banter and interaction with everybody through the glass. And the Spider-Man meet and greet was just fantastic. I mean, the guy beforehand was talking to the cast member beforehand was saying, "How are you doing? Are you excited to be here? You know, you're looking forward to meeting Spider-Man?" And we're like, yeah, we're looking forward to that. And he said, "You know, we don't know who Spider-Man is. A lot of people seem to think it's Peter Parker, but nobody's confirmed it yet. So, you know, we just don't know who he could be. Who could he be?" And he said, "So you're English, you guys?" And yeah, and he walked in. You could hear him say to Spider-Man, "You okay?"
All right, yeah.
He's English. They're English.
Not Sava.
English. English is like okay. So we went in, and it was a French English Spider-Man, and he was brilliant. He was really playful with the kids, gave him a hug and stuff, talked to Ollie for ages, and just gave him. Well, you know, you've done the Darth Vader one.
We
when
did
you do a proper
Spider-Man
meet and
in like 2018 or something.
Yeah.
And he's
Spider-Man in the old location is the best.
one of the best meets we've ever
It's
done.
just
it was great.
The thing about these sorts of meet and greets for me is that you're in a room and it's exclusively you, and it's not, you don't feel rushed. Even though there's people waiting outside, you don't feel rushed at any point at all. You're given so much time. The guy takes loads of pictures. They signed the autograph book because Lucas got an autograph book this time. After doing the Minecraft videos that we put on the Christmas thing, he's become obsessed with the idea of getting autographs from meet and greets. So we didn't queue for a lot because they were really busy, but the few that we did, he got autographs from. And so he signed the books. The guy took photographs of him signing it, and we've just got a load of great pictures. And when we went out, again, it's these machines. So you go there, you scan your card because they've scanned it when you do it. You scan your card on the machine, it brings up all the pictures there for you to see, already there in your photo pass, good to go. It was a brilliant experience. And I think if we'd done that on the first day, we'd have probably tried to get a different one another day as well.
Yeah. Did you get the bullet time thing?
No,
Is
I
that
didn't get the bullet
something
time.
different?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably the Avengers.
The
one.
Avenger.
I would think so. Yeah,
Do you know
but I don't
Do you know
know.
what Spider-Man should do for his autograph signature? He should start writing Peter Parker by mistake, and then cross it out, and then put Spider-Man.
That's good.
It'd be a nice touch.
So there's some people debating, do you have to be in the studios to do it? You just get it through the app, don't you? It's on the homepage of the app. And somebody has confirmed you can do it from...
In the resort. You've got to be on the resort, I think.
It says not... Well, David has said you can do it from either park, but not the hotel.
Okay. So that's why they needed to know the tickets, I guess, because like I think he's saying in here, but you've already scanned into the park, so they know you're in there.
Okay. So you've got to have scanned in.
That
right.
makes a lot of sense, actually.
That's fine.
Aaron's suggesting that we'd accidentally walked into a sketch in the...
Yeah,
it was
honestly.
like being in a fringe show, Edinburgh Fringe
I
show.
don't think we can fully translate.
That you wouldn't have left any payment for. So what we did after we came out of that then was I saw that it was only a 5-minute single rider, so I said, look, you ought to go on the flight bus because Laura likes roller coasters anyway. I said, it's not great, but you should go on it just so that you have, because next time we come, they'll have probably done a lot of work on it and made it a lot better, so it'll be interesting to see how it's different. So Laura went and did that, and we needed a drink, so I decided to go into the Stark Factory and see what it was like. And the theming in there is absolutely brilliant. As you walk in, there's Hulkbuster armor there, and it is massive, absolutely massive.
Wish we'd gone in there.
And you've got this really nicely laid out. You've got a really nicely laid out. It's like a canteen. It's like a university campus canteen, basically. So we went and got a couple of drinks there, and then if you go through one of the rooms at the side, there's Peggy Carter's desk.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I know you can go and sit and eat there, but it was closed off at the moment, so I don't know whether the people have been abusing it. I imagine that's what the reason is, the same reason that they've got barriers up to stop you from sliding on the Quinjet platform. But so I went in there and took a bit of video. But you can sit around the desk. There's seats all the way around the desk there, so you can just sit and eat there. But it's really nicely themed. It's very airy and open. And both times I went in there, it wasn't overly busy. You were definitely going to get a seat somewhere, so it was good. And they serve pizza and pasta, which also just big slice of pizza, big square slab of pizza, and it looks really, really good.
Lee's going on Sunday. Have fun.
Yes, Lee. Have a great time.
I need to go back now. Now it's just even though we spent that time in Avengers Campus, and when we were done we're like, right, let's go somewhere else now. We've been here a while. I don't feel like we've spent enough time there. There was so much going on.
Do you know what? We've laughed a lot about the studios recently, but it has lifted that place so much, like to the point where all our time in the studios was brilliant this time, and it hasn't been before. I mean, yeah, the Route 66 is worse than the tram tour was, which is saying something. But
I disagree.
It is, but it's 5 minutes long, and basically all the sites are big cardboard pictures.
I think it needs to be 5 minutes long. I think that ride being 20 minutes long was laughable.
But Lucy,
you've still got the canyon.
You go around and they go, oh look, there's a big spanner, and then they go, oh look, it's the maze. But it's a poster for a maze, and then they go, "Oh look, it's the haunted house," and it's a picture for a haunted house. It's not. None of it's there.
Okay, I'll take that. Ooh,
It's rubbish.
I take that as criticism. Honey.
It's a 2-star ride.
It is, if that 1.5. But the whole place it's just lifted for me. Like I can go and spend. I mean, I know it's a half-day park. It still is really, but I can go and spend a load of time there and thoroughly enjoy it. And the great thing about Avengers Campus, and I really wish and I hope that they do more of that, and they realise how well it's working there, how well it works in Galaxy's Edge as well, is that there are characters there just doing stuff, which means there's always something to see and do in different places. And when something ends in one place, something else starts somewhere else. So your crowd is organically moving around and shifting, and the space is getting used in different ways all the time. It's brilliant.
I've got a quick point about the water bottle filling thing. You know, they got this new water bottle. Like, we're in a queue for it, and people were going up in groups sometimes, filling up the bottle up one at a time. Now, there's a bottle filler and there's 2 drinking fountains. They all work at once. If there's 3 of you in a group, 3 of you can fill your bottles at once, and the queue, and it doesn't slow down when you press one. It doesn't slow the other one down.
It doesn't.
So, don't do your bottle one at a time. That's just a little niggle I had when we were there.
I think, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. We've done 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is way longer than we've ever done before.
We'll have Disney Street pals tapping their watches going, you're 20 minutes late for your show, where are you?
Next week, I think we might talk transport and accommodation, and then the week after that, talk everything else. Or do you want to do it the other way around?
I'm easy. I'm happy to do it either way.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. We do have our Patreon pals
Extra Magic time.
So we've got another 20 minutes for people who are Patreon members for our Extra Magic time. I don't know what we're going to talk about then, but it won't be Disneyland Paris, because that tends to be kind of the rule.
Will it not?
I don't know.
Ooh.
We tend to kind of keep Disneyland Paris to Disneyland Paris show, don't we? But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But for now, I'm going to say thank you all for being here. I've been Lucy. This has been The Boys. Bye-bye.
What a very rushed ending. Bye.